Hello, buddy. This is Purge bringing you guys another replay commentary. That's 2 days in a row. I hope you guys like these because I know I haven't been uploading that many since I've been back, so I thought I'd make another one. I just played a Rubick game, and I really liked it, so I thought I would commentate it and then upload it. I might stream later tonight, no promises, but maybe. I'd say there's like a 25% chance of me streaming tonight. I have a couple things to do in the next couple hours, but yeah, I think that's about it. If I don't stream tonight, definitely will stream tomorrow. So, Rubick, okay. Well, first off, I'm gonna speed things up a little bit because this is a ranked game I played this morning. When I started this game, I think I was sitting at 5,092-ish, something like that. About 5,090, somewhere around there. I picked Rubick this game. I'm not really sure why. I actually haven't picked Rubick much at all recently in solo queue. Almost never I play him. Because I don't feel a certain affinity with the hero. I feel like I lack on the hero a little bit. I'm not quite aggressive enough, and I don't think I'm confident enough in my early damage potential. And I worry about getting out of position because Rubick has some lackings in that he has weak damage early. Unlike a hero like Venge has a nuke that she can throw out, and she can right click, whereas Rubick just has right clicks. Now he actually has extra attack range, but that's about all that he can work with. I almost placed my ward here, but I decided to wait until like another minute because, you know, if I can save an extra minute, get an extra minute out of my ward, I thought that was pretty useful. So to compensate for that, I was going to come over here and go back to zoning, try to see if anybody was blocking the pull. I think this is really important to do as a support. Make sure that you do move out of the map really fast, buy your items rapidly. You should have that stuff figured out most of the time that you play Dota here. You can usually right-click people from the high ground. I wanted to see that I could get there to make sure that we got the bounty rune if possible. And we're going to be all good. It kind of looks like they... Well, I think the Earthshaker might have blocked... I heard him place the ward down. We'd have to go free camera to see where it is. Let's see where the ward was. Oh, he actually just placed a side jungle ward. Okay. Nothing too weird about that. But getting into the lane really fast is good because you can predict whether or not your opponent's about to place wards. And most importantly, and almost like... I would say at least 50% of the cases where I go to... make sure their offlaner doesn't place a ward, and at least 50% of the time they don't get to block the camp as a result, and that's super big. That is like super big if you guys are playing support. Don't let them place a observer ward down to block the offlane camp. It's really, really important. At this moment, I was thinking about coming back to pull, but it looked like the Bloodseeker was going to take that farm anyway, so I decided to come back in the lane so that I could help out the Shadow Fiend here. So a Shadow Fiend Rubick dual lane. This game might actually be a lot more reminiscent of what you guys play with normally in regular games, if you're lower MMR, that is. And the reason for that is because this is a dual lane, and it's not something you're normally used to here. So important things about dual lanes, rune checking is pretty important. Zoning your enemy heroes is important, denying the creeps is pretty important, and most importantly, trying to creep the creep equilibrium more towards your tower if possible. Now, we had the benefit of having a jungling hero this game, which means that he can come gank sometimes, but as a whole, we kind of played this game as if we were solo. At least I did. Or as if we were just a simple dual lane. The Zeus had top versus a Brood, which is not a very good Zeus lane. If I was playing that lane, I think against a Brood, I might get more levels of the chain lightning actually, because you could kill spiders a bit better, but I don't know if that's worth it. Not entirely sure. If you had a sentry, it'd probably be worth it. Maybe not right away, because right away, I don't know. That's not. We're not playing Broodmother or Zeus versus a Broodmother this game. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for that last hit or not. Bit of missed last hits. I found out after the game actually that the Shadow Fiend is actually about 4,400 MMR, which is not amazing, obviously, but quite a bit lower than where I was here. I was the high MMR in the team. I think I was the high MMR in the game, if I'm not mistaken, but I actually gave him my Clarity Potion. I think that costs me kind of a lot personally, because if I do cast any spells, I'm going to be pretty drastically out of mana here. I wanted to harass him a little bit, but he actually ran into the jungle, so I lost a lot of harass opportunity there. I could have hit him like 4 times if I went the same way that he did. I'm just going to follow him around a little bit, not too worried to do this. It's always good to make sure that you always know where their support heroes are. I'm not too worried about this. He does have a boots advantage over me, but I just thought I'd do something slightly tricky, juke through the trees here, and then it'll be okay. So in terms of how the last hittings go, let's look at the CS. And you guys might be a little confused about what I've been doing, but I learned some vein of this by watching Bambo play a lot of solo queues when I was in Korea. And And what he does is he just messes with people all the time. Like, all the time. You might just look at what I did and be like, oh wow, you almost died, that was dangerous. And yeah, maybe I did almost die, but what Bambo does is he channels his belief that he's better than his opponents. And if he does that, then his opponents are pretty much just going to get outplayed, assuming he does have the skills to back it up. So he basically has this belief that he's better than his opponents, and he goes to mess with them, and he forces them to do weird stuff that they're not necessarily comfortable with, and then he's going to eventually outplay them. So when I went to like harass the Earthshaker there, I mean, you have to be really careful with this. I'll talk about that in a moment. But when I went to harass the Earthshaker there, I just want to make sure that they didn't have the ability to do whatever they wanted to, that I'm going to constantly right-click them and harass them and do annoying things and prevent them from doing what they want to do. It's important that you do that. So while I did almost die, I lost 120 mana, but they used a fissure, they used mana for a battery assault, and in the meantime, Shadow Fiend was getting last hits the whole time, and that's the important part. If we look at the last hits, SF's at 14, Clock has 3, Earthshaker has 4. So despite them dual laning here, me being over there has actually given us a lot of space, and now I'm going to do some pulling. I think the Bloodseeker wanted to fight here, and I think he was right. I think I should have stayed in the lane rather than pulling. He was level 3, he had a second skill. If we do a lift and a raise and a Bloodseeker AoE, we probably could get a kill, but Shadow Fiend's actually doing pretty well by himself here just by level 4. It's a 3 Clock and a 2 Earthshaker, so against that dual lane, I don't think he's in too much trouble. I maybe should have tried to swing around to try to initiate on them, but I didn't know this at the time, but they did have a ward down, so it's pretty, look at this, they're actually reacting pretty rapidly to the observer, or to our movements, so it should have been really obvious that they had a ward. But anyways, it's important to be aggressive and annoying when you're playing support heroes. We did see that the Windrunner was coming. If you're playing a support, you don't want to find him in the jungle, you want to sit by your tower, especially if they have a haste rune. Pretty common. Bloodseeker's not at that much threat here. I'm going to give my last tango to the Shadow Fiend to get his HP up. And again, even though it's 5 minutes and I'm only level 2, what I'm really guaranteeing is that my Shadow Fiend gets pretty good farm. We actually have quite good CS. Out of 4 lanes, we have 4 people that are in the top 6, which is not bad. And again, whenever I can, I'm going to pull the small camp. What I should be doing is pulling this through every single time. I messed up this pull, which is terrible. You really can't mess up pulls. It's so important when you're playing supports. Because if you mess up pulls, then your wave pushes. And the greedy thing that I did here was that I went for this last hit. If I wouldn't have done that, my pull would have connected a fraction of a second earlier. The animals or the creeps would have been probably here when the creeps died, and the pull could have connected. And those definitely would have died. That would have been 3 creeps that they didn't get unless they shifted over to defend it. So that was pretty bad of me. I really should have not been greedy about that. I don't even think did I even get the last hit? I don't even know if I got the last hit. But it's always more important to connect the pull than it is to get the gold on a pull. Connecting the pull is far more important because you get more experience. You get more experience in gold anyways. Getting the last hit is obviously great, but always need to connect the pull more so than the opposite. On the bright side, I still got another small camp, so I'm level 3, which is kind of good, and I can re-pull again. Unless the trees are all blocked, which they might be. But again, I'm just pulling the small camp because any creeps that die here will be useful. And again, I have to keep watching the safe lane. If you are pulling like this against an aggressive dual lane or a solo that can kill your carry, make sure that you look over a lot because you want to make sure that they don't end up getting solo killed. Just use a little bit of a nuke there to get the last hit. I didn't necessarily have to do that. This is a little scary here, but should be just fine. They don't have, or they have boots and I do not, so you have to be really careful in circumstances like this. I do not know what that Zeus ult was about. I'm trying to stack this up if I can. Not really the best camp to stack, because they can try to steal it maybe, but... You know what I should have done right there is I should have gone for the lift. The Shadow Fiend actually did a really good thing there and did a double raise. I don't know, I wasn't thinking about double raise potential. That was well done by him, and then as soon as he did it, I was like, oh my god, we could have had a kill if I wasn't stupid, or if I wasn't like trying too hard to not do anything here. I basically just... I focused way too hard on thinking that we wouldn't be able to get any kills, so I needed to be thinking more offensively. It's really important to do that. Get any kills that you can, basically. I just felt like he actually went Midas. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you serious? Like, we're against an aggressive dual lane and this guy builds Midas. I couldn't believe it. It's like so dangerous, especially against a Clockwork. He doesn't even have boots. If you're playing against a Clock, you kind of have to get boots. If I was in a Rubick, this would be a lot more dangerous. You know what I should have done here was lifted the Broodmother first. I got a small amount of experience out of that, but That wasn't very worthwhile here, TPing to the top lane. It's actually okay, I get like about a level out of it, I think. I'm really worried about the Broodmother diving me here. Oh, also they were calling missing on the Windrunner, so I had to be pretty careful here. I think he only had a regenerate, so I didn't have to worry about him diving me. Like with a haste or something like that. Super overdive here by the storm. I can't really go in there, because if I do I'll just die to the spiders. I almost had a lift, so I decided to go in, but now I have to run. Super overdive by the storm. It's a mistake that a lot of storms actually make, is that as soon as they feel like it's time to fight, they just ball. That doesn't matter where they are. And it's really important that you play more safe than that when you're playing Storm Spirit. I communicated that guy that information later, and he actually took it really, really good to heart. Fade Bolt pretty good against spiders. I don't know how many of those he ended up killing, but any reduction in spiders is pretty good, especially if you can reduce their HP by that much. I could kind of stay here. I'm almost 6, and I have enough for like 1 spell. But most importantly, I'm just trying to make sure that the Zeus doesn't get dived. But I should probably be looking around the map a little bit more, I think. Just gonna give him the old... Actually, I ended up picking him here. I actually messed up flying out. Didn't do a very good job with it. He actually messed up his attack there. He should have had one more overload hit, but he cancelled his attack early. That should be a dead storm. Thought maybe I could save him, but... So I wasted another TP there. I lost about 250 gold right there doing all that, which is pretty terrible. In the early game, you don't get a whole lot of reliable gold as a support, so it's really important, unless you get kills, of course, so it's really important that you spend your money out before you die. In that case, I wasted a TP there on nothing, and most importantly, I also wasted, when I died, I didn't buy out fast enough, and I could have bought items, could have bought like a magic stick or something. That kind of stuff's really big when you're trying to come back in the game. Since there's a bunch of dead people everywhere, I'm just gonna go push this lane out. Grab my ultimate. Actually got Echo Slam here, which is kind of cool. Telekinesis is really nice because you can... The reason Telekinesis is really cool in this game is because if somebody's ruptured, I can move them so they're taking extra damage. It's kind of like my Telekinesis does damage. It's pretty cool. So able to use Echo Slam there. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage to a solo target, but I think there's 1 creep, so it does about 200 magic. It's honestly not that good of a nuke at all, but the mana cost isn't that high, so I don't know. I actually stole Echo a lot this game, but I never really used it super well, I don't think. Just kind of like as a nuke. I'm surprised that was the last spell he cast. The last time he casted Echo, I think, was all the way up here Storm. He just hadn't fissured yet. So anyways, I felt pretty behind this game. I kind of felt like all of our cores were losing, and the courier actually had my Observer Wards on it that I had bought. And so I had to buy another set, because I wanted to get wards down, because we wouldn't have them for 3 minutes. Luckily, I actually had another stack available, but I got sentries as well, because I wanted to try to protect whoever was farming the top lane, wherever the Brood was. Because Brood kept being really aggressive there. Wish I had a TP here, I could have gone on the Windrunner here. That looks like it still will be a kill. Man, if it wasn't for Rupture, we would have had a lot more trouble in these early fights. Echo Slam would have been really nice against the Brood, actually. Could Echo on all those little spiders. If you had like 10 spiders, that's like 400 magic damage or something. That would have been really good. So I wanted to go put wards down on the cliff, and the reason I want to do this is because if Brood starts, you can't see the icons, but yeah, you can see them here. There's webs. If there's a lot of webs all over the place, it's going to give me a lot of trouble. Or anybody trouble defending, because if he webs up all around the tier 2, he can basically run from this this unobstructed area here into the tower and just dive and kill us. There's not a whole lot that we can do about it, which is a bit frustrating. So it helps to put an Observer Ward over there, even if I'm not farming there. I don't think this is that bad. I just want to get the Observer Wards down to protect our team, because we're getting overly ganked here. So, just spotted a Clockwork, I believe. Looks like Storm just died again. Yeah, I have to be a little bit careful about. If you ever get in a battle with clock like this, just right click him. And look at that. I did end up dying to the Earthshaker. What I probably should have done is ran north, because I should have expected him to drop the fissure on me like that. It was still really good for me. I could have also bought out. Yeah, don't be afraid to right click if you're caught with into a fight with a Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker gets a little heal here. Don't know if he can get that kill. Doesn't look very good. And the old urn, I buy urn all the time on supports. It's really good. It's an expensive bracer that gives you and your team a lot of heals. I feel like a lot of people underuse urn at the right time during team fights as well. If you do have an urn, make sure that as soon as battle's over, or they stop taking damage, if somebody's missing 400 health, you should pump them up. Because that's like it's like using a mech in a way during a team fight, but it's only for 1,000 gold. Urns are just fantastic. I use urns maybe a bit too offensively, perhaps, because I always have pretty low charges, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm trying to set up a kill here on the mid lane. We could have maybe smoked for this. I really wanted to steal Fissure here. You know, if I just would have been a little bit more patient, I guaranteed could have gotten Fissure just now. I ended up getting Enchant Totem instead, which at level 1 is pretty worthless. It's not that expensive on mana, so it's not that bad of a skill to have actually, but much better to have Fissure instead. Fissure is definitely the best skill in this game, other than maybe Troll Ulti. Troll Ulti, Fissure, Echo Slam, maybe Hook. Shackle Shot's probably not bad either. Kind of lost our tower for nothing. We were hoping that the Brood would be up here. This game was really weird. I felt like in a really weird place at this point. I saw that the Brood was over there, so I decided to give up on the item transferring. It took me forever to realize that. It's really close. I got 178 gold for being close to that fight. That was pretty big. And then there, Earthshaker bought a Midas. I was like, oh, he actually bought that before Blink. I was really surprised when I saw him later. I was like, why does this Earthshaker have a Midas? What's going on? This game was really weird. We got super pressured because of the Brood safe lane, and he wrecked our Zeus. Maybe not wrecked, but I feel like our Zeus did worse. I'm sure he did worse than the Brood did. The Brood did really well. Clockwork was 3-1 and 4. Wind Ranger actually didn't do that hot. He got ganked a lot due to Rupture and things like that. So now I'm just going to put wards down to cover our jungle a little bit here. Or maybe we're expecting somebody to be bought. We're expecting someone to be bought. I wanted to kill them. And Clockwork ended up going towards mid lane instead, I think. You can maybe argue that I should have a magic stick here. I think a magic stick is about as good as an urn. And it also costs me a little bit of HP to do these small camps, but I think doing small camps like this is fine with passive regen, because if you have one nuke, you shouldn't take more than like 100 damage, and you can heal up parts of that as you're just sitting there. So take small camps once in a while if you're really poverty on a support. And most importantly, I just want to get wards up to prevent my team from getting ganked, and to try to set up ganks on them in exchange. That was so stupid just now, like me running all the way up there. That was so terrible. Couldn't believe I didn't die there. I do that way too often. I don't steal safely enough as a Rubick, I think, is one of my big issues. I should have been killed there, 100%. Looks like we have a Brood over here in the trees. As soon as the Brood jumped on me, I knew I would die here. Yo, that was a lot of dead spiders just now. Can I look at current gold? I want to see how much he just got. Alright, watch the SF gold. He just got like 200 gold. No, that's about 300. He got about 280 gold for killing those spiders. That's like a hero death. That's actually insane. Yeah, I didn't play that great early game, I think. I did okay in the lane. But before this, up until this point, I was kind of just trying to play my solo game and play correctly, and I wasn't trying to direct the team or anything like that, and I think I could have done a better job at that. I honestly felt pretty much like we were screwed here at this point, because they were pressuring us so hard all around the map. We were losing heroes all over the place. We had a tower, but that's about it. I mean, killing some of their observer wards is really useful, but I don't know. Also, when I was killing the ward, I probably should have tried dodging just a little bit to avoid the expectation that I would get hooked. I wasn't expecting to get hooked there, but I got wrecked, so. Got on the first hit. So 50 gold there. It's weird to have a Brood in the safe lane for once. Like Brood usually goes off lane, so having him safe lane made the game a bit weird. That looks like a really dead hero. But maybe we could catch some of them. I don't know. What we basically need to do is we need to jump out in small pockets and we need to get kills. And we didn't do that until later in the game. At this point, we felt really condensed, and a lot of our heroes didn't have a whole lot of farm. So what I said was, Storm, we need to start getting kills, and we need to start going on people. I don't know why I can see Troll over there, but I can see Troll over there. I think we had a Dust here. I wanted to go in on the Brood. There's the reveal. For some reason, I thought he would go on the Windrunner, but he actually went on the Brood instead. And again, I failed on buying anything. So we got the Troll Aegis, and we killed a Windrunner, which isn't really worth it. I think he should have ruptured that guy, maybe. Pretty much a shit fight. We went on different targets. I think Windrunner was an easier target there, since they were both there. I'd rather kill... If I have a Storm, I'd rather kill a Windrunner, I think, over a Brood, because Windrunner can just shackle people. If you chain stun him, then all Brood can do is silence and maybe throw spiders on you. Although you could also argue maybe I should have just done a Fade Bolt on the creep wave instead. If I Fade Bolted the creep wave, I might have killed most of their damage out, but that's not really true. Their heroes deal a lot of damage too. I'm not sure if I played that fight right. The one thing I really messed up on was not queuing up an item to buy if I was about to die, because I knew I was going to die, but then I went to open an item slot at that point. So always queue up your items before you're expecting, like as you're ready to build your next item. Like right now I could queue up Magic Wand, so even if I'm about to die I might be able to buy like an Ironwood branch or two, because I doubt that I have reliable gold. I'll wait till I get back to my hero. I actually have 42 reliable gold, so I could still lose some gold if I die right now. In terms of Rubick's skill builds, some people argue different things. There's a big period of time where Rubick's would only get 2 levels of Telekinesis, and then they would max out No Field second after Fade Bolt. But most people now, I think, go 4 and 4, and then they get No Field afterwards, because the amount of magic resistance that you get from No Field is pretty marginal. And especially this game, the amount of magic damage coming out of the enemy team is not that big. It's mostly Orchid, Earthshaker nukes, Clockwork Battery Salt, and that's about it. Most of that is all magic damage, so I'll steal a Power Shot here. Really good spell to steal, because I can do this. It's a little dangerous. If you're ever worried about dying as a Rubick, give him the lift and run. And of course, immediately afterwards, I went to dodge the Power Shot, because I figured his Power Shot would be off cooldown, which it was. But Power Shot's a really good nuke on Rubick, because Rubick is already a really good counter pusher, because Fade Bolt endlessly bounces. It does do less damage every time it bounces, but with those two spells together, you can do good things. And the early game, that's one of the best spells I can steal, other than Fissure. If Fissure was level 4, that'd be better. But out of all the other abilities, I think Power Shot's actually probably the best, especially when we're this behind, because it allows me to just do good damage from range. It actually does good damage. I think it's 360 the primary target. It's a really high level nuke. That's a pretty spammable ability, 9 seconds. I organized the team here to go for a gank as well. And we get another kill. That was just being careless by the Clockwork. I don't think their wards are very good. Let me check their observer wards and we can see how well they played this. We'll go to Dire Team. Alright, they actually have 0 observer wards. Is that true? Oh, I'm sorry, they got 1. They have 1 observer ward. This ward is terrible for this state of the game. They've been owning us for about 10 minutes. Where their wards need to be is maybe here. You could put one here. You could put one here. You could put one certainly right here behind the tower. You could put a ward anywhere along this tree or ridge line would be good as well. This is where the wards should be. The wards should be constricting us to our base, and instead where they have wards is right on the middle of the map. What they're doing is they're letting us come back in the game. It's really important that you constrict people with your vision. And where I'm going to put all my observer wards is about the same line that they're putting, except a little bit farther out, because I'm going to see when they're about to enter our danger zone. They want to see where we're moving and prepare for them to initiate us. We want to put our wards where we're expecting them to move in preparation to initiate on us. So I would put my wards somewhere, oh, you can't even see my mouse, I'm sorry. I forgot that bug still is in there. I would put my wards somewhere around where the tier 2s, but slightly outside of that. I guess you didn't see any of my mouse movements, huh? Yeah, you actually can't see anything with my mouse. That sucks. I keep forgetting that, I'm sorry. Again, it's a bug. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. This ward's okay, because it spots the top lane. I'm going to get back to the fight as fast as I can. I actually messed up really bad there. I should have lifted the Earthshaker immediately, because whenever an Earthshaker goes in, he's preparing to do a combo. He will be doing a combo immediately, and if you lift him up, it prevents him from doing his full combo. I allowed him to do 1 or 2 more spells, and it resulted in our Zeus dying. If I would have just lifted him first before I tried to cast anything else, then it would have resulted in Earthshaker, or at least Zeus likely living. So that was a pretty big mistake by me, I think. A little bit of misraises going on here. This is pretty scary. Man, this guy just made a lot of really careless mistakes here. I don't think I should have tried to steal a spell from the Clockwork either. If I still had, I don't know how much time I had left on Power Shot, but if I had a bit of time on Power Shot, that's definitely the better spell than Rocket Flare. Rocket Flare is actually not bad though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Can shoot it quite often. Does 200 damage. It's kind of like a weaker damaged version of Power Shot, but better in some ways. It's actually not that bad of an ability. It's the cooldown 14. It's a lot less DPS than a Power Shot. I don't know why that guy's so far up. Their team played very like solo Dota this game. They were like so content in their win. What's the gold graph like? That's a 15,000 gold advantage. It's actually a 15,000 gold advantage. That's ridiculous. If we look at net worth, here's the net worth. So this is what you have to do when you're behind. You smoke 2 or 3 heroes, and then you move into the jungle or a place where you expect a single hero to be farming, and then you kill them. We tried to smoke the Zeus as well, but he actually stopped and attacked creeps because he was expecting somebody else to be there. And then I kept telling my Storm to come with. We're trying to get solo kills on people. I actually got revealed here by a Broodmother. That ended up being a really bad fight for us. I didn't anticipate for the Brood because I'm stupid. I should have been like, oh, we might find a Broodmother. We should probably be careful, you know? We actually lost 3 heroes for that, so it got even worse. Look at this net worth. It's actually insane. This is a 20k gold difference. Let's look at 20k gold difference. Yeah, just about. It's 19. Almost 20k. I'm dead for a bit. Alright, so again, I just have Arcane Boots, earn Wand. Got another smoke. Because with smokes we can try to get kills. I wanted him to rupture that guy. If he ruptures him, we could go. Rupture, rupture. Always pulling back for the rupture damage. And I power shotted through for the last hit. Like, they played so up on every single lane. Every single, like, they probably let us get like 3 kills so far that they shouldn't have given us. Like, look at this. They push all the way up because they think we're so far ahead that we should be able to just win this game. And they keep pushing up really far. And when teams are this arrogant, you can really take advantage of that. But you have to be careful. And it requires you to have wards up, because when they do actually do some ganking, then you have to worry about getting jumped on. So it's actually really difficult for them to go high ground. We have Shadow Fiend, we have Zeus, we have Rubick, we have a Bloodseeker. All of those heroes have pretty good counter push AoEs. They might have spotted our smoke there. We smoked here. I don't know where they are at, but so ooh. And we're gonna find a hero. Did a little rocket flare on him. Again, another kill. Ooh, that one. That's okay. It's a BKB though, so we have to wait a little bit. Not really any saving of him I could do. But now we just right click him until it's time to lift. He actually has a BKB already, it like blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, this guy has a BKB, what do I do? I actually got Fissure out of him there, that was pretty cool. My Telekineses was actually perfect. Not that I did that much. I lifted the troll for 2.25 seconds, and then it landed and stunned the Brood for 1.75.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's like still 17k gold difference, but it was at 30. Or 20. It was at 20k. Almost 16, that's pretty cool. The nice thing about being 16, the main thing in my opinion is the no field. You get no field. It's a free cloak, better than cloak, free cloak for everybody in the area around you. So against Earthshaker, that's pretty good for us. Oh, I'm like by far the lowest net worth. I didn't realize. I guess it's, I don't know if they had any true supports really. Earthshaker was like, I'm gonna get a Midas. It's like, buy wards? Nope. Fissure's the best spell that you can steal though. I talked about Power Shot being better, but at that stage in the game, but Fissure is arguably, it's probably one of the best spells in the whole game. It's in a lot of ways even better than stealing like Black Hole or Ravage or something like that, because the amount of farming and killing you can do with it is amazing. You have a much bigger mana pool when you're playing Rubick than you do on a hero like Earthshaker, usually. But the cool thing is that you can set things up. I orchestrated this gank here. I brought the Bloodseeker over, asked him to come. And I said, we're going to go initiate on this. I had to go before the creep wave died, though. Which is why I went a little early here. I just fissured a little bit after that. So that's a dead hero. I think I actually did try to steal from him, but there was no reason to steal from him. So I still had like a minute and a half on Fissure here. Again, little ganks like that are really, really good. You need to do them. It doesn't take more than 2 or 3 heroes to do a gank. It's important to do it. Like, this is the mistake that a lot of lower level players make. When they get behind, they're like, we have to smoke gank. And when somebody says that, all 5 heroes group and they stand in a circle until like 45 seconds later when somebody like flies out a smoke. The way that you need to properly smoke gank when you're really behind is you, while 2 of your heroes are farming, while 2 heroes are farming, what you need to do, oh, this is a mistake. While 2 of your heroes are farming, you smoke the other 3 and make sure that you have enough disable and enough damage to be able to get a kill, and then you go and get a kill. And that's how you successfully do a gank when your team is really behind. Like what we just did on the Windrunner. I look at the Windrunner and I say, with a Rupture and Blood Rage and my nukes and stuns, we can definitely kill a Wind Ranger. So then we go off and set the gank off. And that's the kind of stuff that you have to look up and realize when you're trying to gank to come back from the game. That was really good. That was a really good fight. That was a good example of the right time for Storm to go crazy. Again, more wards up. My Fissure's almost gone. Unfortunately, it's been useful. I asked him to come on the troll. Have Fissure for just like a moment. I stole this from trolls so often. It's the X change. It's really not worth getting as a Rubick, guys. Definitely not worth it. I guess you get movement speed from it. I didn't think about that. I was like, why would I ever want to be in melee with this? I could bash, I guess. I have a 10% chance to bash somebody. It's really not very good. This is a little dangerous. I blinked a little bit late here. We still a fissure, but I died, so. Should have blinked southeast, I think. That would have been a lot safer. That was just a really uncharacteristic play from the Brood. The Brood's been playing pretty well, but that was like just terrible. This is bad though. Thinking about buying back here. We're getting vaguely close to having gold advantage. We're not there yet, I'm sure. It's at about 8k right now. Huge difference than where it was before. But we have to prevent them from getting a Rex, basically. I didn't want to buy back here, but I felt like I had to. It's going to cost me 1,000. I've already got a blink though, so I don't really need any more items. Honestly, you can kind of play this game, the rest of the game, as Rubick with these kind of items. It's fine. But I want to make sure that they're not able to go high ground. And I was scared of them forcing it right there, so I bought back. Like, looking at it now, I don't think I needed to. I actually bought back like 5 seconds too early because the creep wave wasn't there yet. But the main thing is that we have a Shadow Fiend and a Zeus, so I could have waited to buy back, I think. I think that was a waste of a buyback. Now that I'm watching the replay. That was a mistake. But don't be afraid to buy back. It's much better to buy back than it is to lose barracks. But at the same time, don't be willy-nilly about buying back. So, they just retreated. We pop a smoke. Let's do a ward check on their team. See where their wards are. They have 2 really generic wards. These wards are okay, but they're not that amazing. Oh, I should probably watch the fight. Huh? I lifted way too early. Got out of the fight. Looks like we got kind of chain stunned here. Walking right through the creeps. Power of cogs. This is actually really dangerous. The problem with our fight there was that we went on the tankiest person on their team. Clock actually doesn't contribute a whole lot in team fights except for his HP and being able to separate different players of different teams. And by that I mean he'll jump on one here and he'll prevent you from casting spells, kind of a thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
That's our glyph here. To be really careful.
Bottom tower has fallen.
All we gotta do is walk away from him. Ruptures or Bloodseeker's actually really good against Troll, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter if you have a BKB or anything. Looks like we had a TP out from somebody.
Radiant's bottom barracks
So when you get
are
spawn
under
spiderlings,
attack.
you can actually make a group of spiders, which is pretty good to do. It's important though that they actually don't die while they're pushing, so that's the important part. I also got a stupid amount of gold from that fight. My mana's pretty low, but they still have a lot of dead heroes. We probably should have grouped and done the pushing a bit earlier, I think, there. Sometimes after fights, at least I do this, I don't know about you guys, but I get really out of focus after the fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know, arcanes I could use here. Pulling him back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I didn't think I was going to be able to win this fight. I had no mana anyways. But apparently I should have stayed. I really misread that fight. I ditched way too early. But I didn't have any mana pool. I think I had a wand, but I think it's been sitting on the courier this whole time. Yeah, I don't think I sold it. So I was like, I have like 4,000 gold. When you have 4,000 gold, I mean, I could have bought like a 4-staff. In most cases, I recommend buying things like 4-staffs when you're playing Rubick and Ghost Scepters and things like that. But when you're this far behind, I think it's better to get big gameplay items, especially when we're the aggressors. Like, we're constantly fighting, we're going on them a lot, and we're initiating ganks and things, and they have a lot of squirrely heroes that have BKBs and other stuff that's really difficult to deal with. I thought it would be better to get a hex in this case, because I didn't really feel the need to get like a 4-staff or a Ghost Scepter. Don't really need any of those things. They don't have a PA. The clock has been completely inefficient at hooking on people, and even if he does hook me, I can just lift him with Telekinesis and throw him away. That's one of the really nice things about Rubick as a support compared to other supports, is that you have a way to counter clock because you have Telekinesis. So that's kind of cool. Killed this Quelling Blade. I was like, I'm not gonna let you have that. That's 100 gold. It's usually not worth doing that, by the way. It's kind of dangerous, but probably should have flown up my wand again. If I had a wand, I feel like I could have maybe Echo Slammed in that last mid fight. I still had Echo for a really long time, and I would love to go for opportunities to use it, but it's better to carry Dust here. Yeah, I think it's better to carry Dust. Could be a kill, you know. So again, wards pay off. We can see where they are. I'm gonna check to see where their wards are, because I don't think we fight for a little bit here. Let's check their wards. This ward's pretty good, and again, this ward is really average. At this point in the game, it's not right. This ward's really good if the tier 2 tower is up, this one here in the middle of the screen, but if that tower is gone, it's not the best ward. I think they'd be better off having wards, maybe like entrance of our jungle. Can you see this? Oh, you can see the boxes, nice. So a box here, and maybe like, I don't know, right here would be good. Entrances of our base in the jungle, I think, would be better. So that's what I would recommend for their wards. Okay, there we go. I think we're trying to kill the Brood Mother here, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea why the troll was here. This is actually so confusing. Oh, there's like a mess up his echo there. I don't think I'll catch him though. Level 4 enchant's actually pretty good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Basically gives me like a 500 physical hit every like 4 seconds on a range hero. That's really good. At this point I realized I was really close to the sheep, so I thought I'd greed it out on the top lane. I don't know why the troll was fighting there. That was really stupid of him. Alright, got a sleeper. Godfeeder got out. I'm not going to worry about full mana here because it looks like a fight's about to start. There we go. Once BKB runs out, it's not a big deal. It's really good of the Zeus to get the Veil as well. Just seeing you got a Dagon as well. Dagon, Veil, Axe. Huh. Alright, and now I have a sheep stick. At this point I could probably disassemble. I'd probably get a 4-staff, I think, next would be pretty core. I've got really good disables, but I need a way to have a bit more mobility. I mean, if Brood ever orchided me and auto-attacked me once, I would just die. Like, I would actually just die. But, he really messed that up a lot. I don't know. I felt like I dodged a lot of things this game. A lot of threats, at least. We're getting Rax on the bot lane, which made this a little scary, but this was a chance to take a Rax, and my team called for it, and I think it was the right call. Now I'm looking for opportunities to initiate. The hero I'm most worried about is probably Earthshaker. worry about it. I couldn't believe this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
I'm just gonna sit back and wait for the Earthshaker to go in. Basically, they're gonna get echoed. I completely didn't get hit there. Killing the Earthshaker is huge. It's one of the most farmed heroes on their team. You can easily kill people. And we will go back. Could have lifted him there, but apparently didn't need to. And what's the gold graph like now?
That would be a tribute.
There it is. There's a gold advantage, guys. Oh man. I honestly feel like their morale was destroyed at this point. And it's really important to be positive. Like, our team was positive the entire game. Look at the gold, or EXP advantage. It's massive compared to the gold one. The gold one we're catching up, but like, look at the difference. I think this only happened. Oh my god. The EXP is actually double, approximately. At least the advantage number. It's like, it's ridiculous how important morale is to winning a Dota game. This game's a really good example of that, because our team had really good morale the whole game. Like, the entire game, we're like feeling the comeback and feeling strong about it and stuff like that. This is a little dangerous because I just saw the troll here, but I feel like that was a bug and not actually... I don't remember seeing him when I was warding here in game. I'm going to ward more aggressive now since we're ahead. Still have Fissure for a little bit more. Yo, this guy's so salty. I was like, I'll pick it up. Kind of dangerous to ward over here, but... Could have grabbed a bottle, but I grabbed the dust instead, just in case. So the threats right now are that they are pushing top. Yeah, they're threatening a Rax top, which is really bad for us. If we get Rax top, then we're trading equally, and we don't want to do that anymore because our team is stronger. So I sell the dust and pick up a TP scroll so that I can be there if needed. Wanted to go on this clock here.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And I whipped it. Could actually steal from him. Yeah, I stole a spell from him because my Fissure was almost done anyway, so. Yo, I couldn't believe that Earthshaker walked in like that. Tried to get troll ulti there, but I didn't grab it. So Bloodseeker went back, he was able to defend against the Brood. And that pretty much covers us here. I lost my check projectile here. Finally got it. Wow, that ultimate is so good. This would be a nice dunk. Oh man, he was so upset. Oh, that's why my blink didn't work. I tried to blink and then cog him there, like close to my team, but it didn't work, and that's because he blade mailed and I nuked him, and it reflected damage, so it prevented my blink. I was curious. I was like, I thought I had my blink up. So What a comeback game. That was 20k gold disadvantage up to 20k. What a swing. This part really confusing because everybody in his team was 4k. He was 4.8k. It's boosting. So that's why this guy was so angry. This guy was so angry. What an angry player. Spending his free time boosting Dota accounts and he loses one. That means he has to play 2 more games. Like, that actually wastes so much of his time if you think about it. If you beat a person that's boosting a Dota account, that means that's 25 MR. Not only that they lose, but they have to make up, which means they have to win 1 and then 2 game. That's not 3 games, I guess. It wastes this game and it wastes the next one. So it wastes 2 hours about. It's basically like forcing them to spend an extra hour, I guess. Which is pretty significant. So, I don't know. If they boost an account and they still lose, I don't know. I don't feel bad at all. So, that's it for the game. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to go work on some other stuff. I hope you enjoyed the comeback. Felt less cool when I watched replay. When I played it felt amazing. And I don't know if you guys felt like that at all, but I hope you guys understand better how to come back. It's about getting kills on solo heroes when they get a little bit too greedy. Use a lot of smokes. Use 2 or 3 man ganks. Get the kill and run away. And preferably deward if you can. If those guys actually warded, they would have won that game. I think that really would have been the difference. If they just put some observer wards down, they would have won. Because they would have seen our ganks coming more often, and we wouldn't have been as successful, and they could have turned them more often. So the one time they did turn our fight, we ended up losing in the middle of the jungle where we went on the clockwork first. But they didn't really do that ever again. So I don't know. This game was really fun. That put me up to 51-12 or something like that. Oh, 51-18. So I'll probably play some more solo queue later, and I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.